first and foremost, I'm a contractor here in the city of Toronto. I do a lot of TV stuff, and I spent the last 10 years working with the Mike Holmes brands. Now I'm striking out on my own, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Damon Bennett. Hi, I'm Damon Bennett, TV Contractor, and you can ask me anything. Am I single? Everyone wants to know if I'm single?
Ask me anything.
Ask me anything.
Ask me.
Ask me.
You can ask me anything.
I just watched the episode of Homes Inspection where you spray paint your initials on the wall. What does the A stand for? My name is Damon Albert Bennett. A little dab will do you. So, what are my tattoos and what do they mean? Well, I'm gonna start with this one right here. Lucky was my dog who we had for 15 years. Now, he was very special to me. Now, the funny thing is that I don't know if I have enough arm space for all my animals eventually because they will all end up on my arm. This is a tribute to our Canadian soldiers. Pro Patria is for country, and this is in memory of my brothers, who I like to say, who served in Afghanistan, and every Canadian soldier who's ever passed away overseas. This is not done yet. This is gonna be a piece that'll probably cover my whole arm. Last but not least, I have this one, which a lot of people know from New Orleans. Now, when we went to the lower 9th Ward, it was honestly one of the most eye-opening experiences of my life working with some of the poorest people in North America. And it really opened up my eyes, opened up my heart, and that's really where I sunk my teeth into charity. Very proud of all of them. My significant other is trying to tell me it is more efficient to put a furnace in an attic than in a basement. Is he actually basing this on something factual or making it up because he wants a man cave? So if you're talking about replacing the existing furnace, putting it in the attic is not a good idea, and I'll tell you why. You already have chases, meaning your duct lines going all through your house within bulkheads, venting into each room. Putting it in the attic means rerunning everything, opening up the bulkheads, opening up the floors, opening up your walls, and returning all of those duct lines back into the rooms and possibly cutting new holes. That is not efficient at all. If you're talking about putting it in a house that's being built, let's say, you do not want it in the attic as well, and I'll tell you why. Does anyone want that weight up in their attic? Does anyone want gas lines running through their attic? Attics are not a place to store your furnace. That's what mechanical rooms are for in the basement. Nice, out of the way, your gas lines come through your foundation, they go right to your furnace. Imagine running a gas line from your foundation all the way back up to your attic. I'm sorry, my friend, I'm not buying this one. And since you're not getting your man cave, I'm gonna take this. Oh yeah. Now this is a question I've been avoiding a long time. So here it is, everybody. Now, what is my favorite sports team? Would have to be the Toronto Maple Leafs. Don't kill me. Okay, now we have some tool questions. The 5 tools that I can't live without would be my miter saw, my table saw, my laser level, my drill, and my demo tools. If you could be any tool, which tool would you be? Well, since I'm already a tool, I can't really take that moniker. Hi, Damon. As a single mom and first-time homebuyer, I have 2 hammers, 3 crescent wrenches, different sizes, a pipe wrench, clamps, several Phillips and flathead screwdrivers, 2 levels, a small power drill, and several Allen wrenches. Do you have any top 3 suggestions that I don't already have? We're gonna start with a tape measure. No one can do without a tape measure in their house. Secondly, we're gonna give you the hammer drill option. That way you can go in through concrete or drill into a wall or a stud. And last but not least is a miter saw for all those tricky baseboards and casings. What's my favorite drink? Would have to be coffee. My favorite alcoholic drink, this is gonna be unbelievable, gin and tonic. It's like I'm an old British man. If you could have a superpower, what would it be? X-ray vision. See behind the walls, you don't have to tear anything down. It would save me so much work. Could you imagine if I could see behind the walls, I wouldn't have to tear down the whole room in order to find one problem. What really happened with Mike Holmes to cause your departure? Public statements seem to beat uncomfortably around the issue. Okay. Contracting on TV, there's always a budget behind it. The sky's the limit. When you're dealing with regular people and their budgets, you're working within the confines of their budgets. So you don't get to do the extras. You don't get to add on, oh, I think, you know what they really could use is another bathroom. So I'll go ahead and do that bathroom. That's TV. And the realities of construction are people have the budget to do what you're paid to do. So that's what we do. We don't get to kick them out of the house, and we don't get to design their houses for them. They give us a design, we price them, they say yes to us, we build them. Because I do get raked over the coals with contractors, especially about, you know, you guys have made it hard for us out there. I always say to them, you know, it was never our intention to make it hard for the contractor, but there was a need for homeowners to understand how to hire a contractor because there were so many people getting taken out there. So I tell them, pick what you need in terms of the information out of these shows, but at the same time, take it with a grain of salt, especially when it's on TV, because it's there for entertainment. In all your time making it right, what was the worst thing you ever saw a contractor do to somebody's home? Quite simply, the worst thing I've ever seen was the Lean On Me project. There was no footings under the back additions. The windows were hung upside down. The doors were hung upside down. The front facade of stone fell off the house because it wasn't tied back into the house. Things that probably would have killed somebody eventually. So it seems everyone's asking why I really left Holmes. Well, nothing really happened. I left the show, which is a natural progression for a person wanting to start his own business. His show was ending and I wanted to get out there before the show was done and really put a stamp on the world. And I think that's what everyone needs to do eventually. You can always work for someone else, but eventually that person is going to want his own business in his own life. And that's where I'm at. So Kathy wants to know if I'm going to have my own TV show eventually. Well, that is the goal. I would love to have my own TV show, not strictly to be on TV and get noticed, but I really like relaying the information. I like helping people out there, and I think that's what we did well in the past 10 years, was help a lot of people. If I can continue to do that, I'm coming back. Hi Damon, huge fan. Recently have redone the roof. The contractor says that I now need new soffits, fascia, and possibly eaves due to venting in the soffits. How do I know if I am being misled? Actually, that's a really good question. Now let me show you. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you what eaves, fascia, and soffit actually are. So this would be your soffit material. The front face of this would be your fascia, and obviously this is your eaves trough. So what we're talking about is the soffit in particular here. Realistically, every 4 feet, you'd want to see a perforated soffit like you're seeing here, but you want a hole on the other side of it. A lot of times there's a plywood finish there that doesn't allow air circulation into your attic. What that's going to cause is a lot of damage. Things are going to get moldy up in the attic, and it's going to rot some stuff because the moisture has nowhere to go. So you really want to make sure that under each one of these perforated soffits, you have a hole ventilated into your attic. Now there's 2 ways to check this. You could check it from underneath here on a ladder, very simply, by going to your ventilated soffit and just pushing up. If you feel that there's a surface underneath there, that means it needs to be vented. Second thing you could do is go up into your attic and just check where the roof line meets the house and see if you have any vents or any daylight coming through where your soffits are. Now, if it's damaged, if there's animals trying to get up into your attic or in your house, because in the winter, animals are trying to get warm just like we are, a lot of times squirrels can actually do a lot of damage. If there is no damage, if you have perfectly ventilated soffits, you're good to go. 5 things I can't live without. 5 things I can't live without: my morning coffee, my morning newspapers, my music, my pets, and my home life. What do you put on a cedar deck to protect it? Well, that's actually a really good question because there's multiple choices that you actually have. The first one I'm going to show you is a weatherproofing, and what it's going to do is it's going to keep that cedar look. Cedar is a natural product that is actually resilient to the weather and bugs, so you could leave it, but what it'll do is it'll go gray on you. So what I want to do is actually use a protection that will keep the color but protect it for the weather for the year. Now the problem with this is it's not a penetrator, so you will have to do this probably seasonally. This does not need a sanding in between, and all we're gonna do is we're gonna take a brush. You can use a roller too for speed, but I'm gonna use a brush here. We've already mixed it up. And you can see it, just what it does is it gives it a bit of a wet look and really brings out the grains. And as you can see there, you keep the same color, as you can see on the back, same coloring, but what that's gonna do is give you an extra protection against rain and all types of weather for at least a year. Now for the second one, this will need a light sanding in between. You just wanna sand off those edges, any little burrs. Now once you're satisfied with how that looks, we're gonna take a stain. What it's gonna do is it's actually gonna penetrate into the wood, and it's gonna give you a longer life on the weatherproofing. So you do it once, it could last 3 to 5 years. Now this time I'm just gonna use a roller. I'm gonna pour a little bit into a tray. I'm showing another option to use a roller because of speed. If you already have the fence up or the deck up, using a roller will just happen that much faster for you. So we're gonna dip our roller in, and we're just gonna roll it up the board. And as you can see, it's a bit of a different color, but it's still very, very nice. It shows the grains, and it gives it a nice redwood look. So now you can see, they're both weatherproofed. One is just a different color, and it's a deeper penetration, which will give you a longer lasting weatherproofing on it. Now always remember, before you start any of these processes, clean the deck first with a little bit of sandpaper and a scrub brush and some water. You never ever wanna use a pressure hose on a deck. What homeowners from shows gone by will you always remember and why? There was one great Irish couple that we did a roof for. They had a double pitched roof that sloped back into the middle of their house, and they had all kinds of water issues. But this couple had so much energy, it was like they were right from the motherland. So the mother was a spitfire. The father had worked on the house poorly for the last 30 years and made a complete mess, but they owned it. They were wonderful, funny people, and I still miss them. Hi, Damon. What made you so passionate about rescuing animals? Kiss? Can I have a kiss? Can I have a kiss? Whoa. Hi, I'm Damon Bennett, TV Contractor, and you can ask me anything. I think anytime you grow up in the country, I grew up with a family that really cared about animals, and I mean, that just goes forward. As a kid, seeing a grown man who could build a house and plow the driveway and did all those, chop the wood and heat the house, be able to bend down and love his dog and give him a big hug. I mean, that's how I grew up. Well, I do like spending some downtime with charities and a lot of actual charity farms. There's a lot of them in Ontario. So today, I'm actually at Esther, the Wonder Pig's house. Now, I've been following her story from her little house to the new farm. So my first day meeting Esther. Who's this guy?
This is Ruben.
Ruben.
This is
Hi,
Ruben.
Buddy.
We've had Ruben for about 7 years now.
Okay.
8 years.
Yep.
Yeah, we got him actually down in Pennsylvania.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah, we were visiting family in Pennsylvania, and we met Ruben there.
You guys are a lot like me. Even when you're on vacation somewhere, you see an animal that you think is in need, it could use your help, and you want to just grab it.
Oh, totally.
Oh, jeez, look at this.
This is William.
William.
Yeah. And this is Catherine and George, the royal family.
I see a royal theme going on here. Do you guys have room for one more here? Maybe me?
I know, right?
We'll have a B&B soon enough.
Watch yourself on these, by the way, as we're walking through. These are electrified. This for BJ and Escalade. And there's a little wire in there we electrify for the pigs, because they love to dig and to root at the fences.
I actually peed on an electric fence as a kid. Dumb country boy,
Is it as bad an
country
idea as
kid.
we've been told
It's
it
a
is?
really, really bad idea because I've done it twice. I peed on one once and I was running through a field another time and it was a wet field and it caught me here.
Oh, yeah.
And I got stuck there for a second and a friend had to pull me off. So here's a word of advice, never pee on an electric fence.
Hilarious.
I won't never take that dare.
Note taken.
Hello, little pigs. Hello, my friends. Oh my.
Yeah.
Ouch! You just bit my finger. Yes, You like the smell of my chin? Hey? I'd like to say I like the smell of yours, but...
If you ask her for a kiss, she'll give you a kiss.
You want to give me a kiss? Can I have a kiss? Shelby, can I have a kiss? Whoa, thank you, thank you. Mwah. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
How do you not just hug these things every day?
There's some real special times. You just come and sit
Yeah.
here on a rock, and
Yeah.
they just surround you and nuzzle you and, you know, flip over on their side, and they just want love.
It's funny, when I get home after work, most days, you know, the first thing to greet me is the dogs. It just sheds all of the day away, sheds all of the stress. You know, what makes me so passionate about rescuing animals is simply that they don't have a voice. You know, you see abuse cases where they can't help themselves. We're human beings, we're more evolved, we should be able to help. We should be able to take care of an animal without hitting it. I mean, it's just as simple as that. Your basic principles of life is be nice, be good, you know, take care of things that can't take care of themselves. Hello, how are you? I have to be gentle with you. Yeah, you're the sensitive one, right? So this is BJ and this is Escalade. Escalade, unfortunately, was abused when she was younger, so she's very skittish around, from what I heard, males especially. She doesn't like your hands raised too much, so just being very gentle with her, making sure that she knows she's in a better place, and I think she already knows that. She's well taken care of at this point. It's very sad. It's very sad to see an animal this skittish over a human being mistreating it. It actually makes me very angry. You know, we'll just hold that emotion in. You're so beautiful. Hey, buddy, so are you. You're a bit of an ass, but you're beautiful too. Now, finally, I get to meet Esther the Wonder Pig. She is beautiful.
Good girl.
Wow, did she ever get big?
Good
I haven't
girl.
seen pictures since she was a baby.
Yeah, she's...
Wow.
The camera adds a few pounds.
To all of us.
Yeah.
I love the pool area, clothing optional beach.
She doesn't like rules.
That is awesome.
Come
She
on.
can move when she wants to, though, when she
Oh,
turns
yeah.
around. Awesome!
This pool's not big enough for you.
Well, that's when you lie in it, Esther, and not. She likes to lay, as you see, so
Yeah.
it cocks her neck funny. So yeah, she needs lagoon style.
Yeah.
You know?
Little Esther. Yes. You'll always be a little princess in my eyes.
Here, come on, you want to hold
Oh, I totally do.
Just watch her ears. She's not a fan of that.
Good girl, Esther. Yeah.
Is this the first hog you've watched today?
This is the first hog. It won't be my last either.
That's funny. Well, hang on a sec. I'll get the shampoo and exfoliating brush. I'll get that.
She even smells pretty. Yeah.
They do have a really sweet smell, isn't it? Isn't it neat?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got. You hate to say, she smells like maple. You know, like a
It's
maple
true.
syrup.
You eat slower
at all.
than most pigs I know.
Yeah.
She's a lady.
Yeah.
She's a.
You are a lady. Those eyelashes and everything. You are just a princess.
There's a lot of character in those eyes for sure.
Ever.
She's rejecting green. Look at that. You see that?
Just like me.
Spitting out
While
the green.
preparing to take her next piece, of course. Multitasking.
Especially when there's so much in front of her. She's just like, I don't.
Look at.
Well, sweetie, it was a pleasure. I finally got to meet you. I've heard so much about you. Looks like you got a pretty good home here. As I said, you know, I pay rent. You know, I'll cook once in a while. Whatever you guys take. I'll live here.
We got an extra bed here, Esther. We got
I saw
one
quite a
extra
few.
stall.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Right on.
So everyone wants to know if I'm single? Will you marry me? Do you have a significant other? Like to ask if you are gay, bi, or straight? Want to go for a drink? Hypothetically, if you were single, any question? Will you marry me? Do you have a significant other? Like to ask if you are gay, bi, or straight? Want to go for a drink? Hypothetically, if you were single, am I single? I actually am not single. I'm engaged, and it looks like we're getting married this summer. Chan I've known for a long, long time. She is my best friend. She's stuck by me through thick and thin, and she's someone who's always been there even when I wasn't there for her. Especially, you know, we were doing TV. I lost a lot of family and friends because I was dedicated to doing what we did. So I poured everything into it, and unfortunately that just happens. The more distance you have between people, things tend to get lost. And Chana was never lost sight of the fact that not only were we always meant to be together, but she was a good friend. She was a good friend when I needed it, and I think I was a good friend when she needed it. So who could ask for a better partner than that? Honestly, the best way I like to spend downtime is being at home with the family. We do love our pets, and giving them attention it eats up a lot of our time. But we also have a lot of charities that I like to do. So, you know, when I'm not spending time with the family at home, we actually like going out to other things like charity farms and other little projects that I have on the go and helping out in that way too. I think a little bit of your time should be spent on a little bit of charity in your life. It feeds the soul. So it's funny. Every time somebody meets me and they know I have dogs, they think that I have the biggest dogs that they're ever gonna see in their life. But when you're rescuing animals, you don't get to pick which kind of dog you're gonna get. And that's very much our family. This is Mabel. She was a puppy mill dog. We got her at 7 years old, and she had spent her entire life in a puppy mill. So when we first picked her up, we brought her to the park, we put her down, and she just went on all fours, flat on her stomach, because she had never been outside before. The sky was too big. That right there just made me break down. So, you know, she has come out of her shell a lot. She's all over us. She is the princess of the family. And now look at, you're gonna be a star. Yes, you are. Huckleberry we've had about 2 years now, and when we first got him, he had been kept in a cage for way too long. He was about 7 when we got him. He spent most of his life in a puppy mill. His hips were so weak because the cage was so small and he wasn't holding up his back end that he couldn't hold it up at all. So we had to strengthen it. You imagine putting someone in a cage from birth until they're, you know, until they're 14 or whatever. They're gonna have a lot of issues. But I, at this point, could not live without him. Oh, this is Evan, and he is the newest addition. He is now about 12 years old, and he lived with my spouse's aunt out in the country, had a great life. She loved him to death, but unfortunately, she had some health stuff occur to her recently, and we've had to take him in full time. He's now one of ours. He's now a Bennett, and there's no looking back for him, and we gave him a great home. It's interesting. I have a lot of interest in life. People think, I think a lot of times that I'm one-dimensional, that, you know, it's construction and then it's TV. And I have a whole life outside of those two things. I have so many interests. I love history. If I could spend my life doing charity, it's probably something I would really consider. It's, you know, I considered staying in New Orleans and continuing on with Brad Pitt's organization to keep building for those people down there. So keep up. I've got a lot of interests and a lot of things I still want to do in my life, and I'm only just starting. It's the tip of the iceberg for me, so get ready.